When we last left off, our intrepid heroes bullied a wyvern to death. It was a poor, helpless, defenseless creature. Look how they slaughtered my baby. And then they came home, and Thelerien died, but only a little bit.
She got better.
Yeah, she got better
We
after
bullied a-
Steve cut her open and squeezed the evil out, which formed into a goo girl, and then tried to
turns
squeal
out
away.
turns out dwarves they drink acid. Actual straight acid.
Well, it's acid laced with mushroom spores. It's fine. It didn't kill any of them.
That we know of.
Yeah. And if it did kill any of them, then they clearly weren't dwarfy enough. But Theli thought that was awesome. The dwarves thought that was awesome. Theli went outside, started humming, singing in the rain to some birds. Some dwarves inside started humming, singing in the rain. Weird coincidence, but hey, what can you do? Let's see. Beyond that, you have acquired the Staff of Stones command from the tower up in the mountains, which in theory will turn to stone to flesh, which would be great for Alba if her soul wasn't contained in a soul stone. Luckily, the party has formed a plan. It is a psychopathic plan, but a plan nonetheless.
Yeah, it's certainly a plan.
It is one of the plans of all time.
Hey, at least it's not Operation Necromore.
Yes,
That's
is
not a high
that is
bar
true.
to clear.
We have reached down into the depths of hell and diddled Satan's asshole for that bar, but yeah, it's true.
Like, that plan was the perfect example of works as intended, but we shouldn't have intended it.
Yeah, no,
It's
that
like
was a
the
plan that
epitome
worked
of a
exactly the
grand-
way you wanted it to. Literally nothing went wrong with it.
It went perfectly, but, sometimes you just wish it didn't.
Yeah.
I will mention one thing as well. There was one issue with the plan that could have been easily rectified.
Well, go on.
Ashe didn't need to swallow the corpse, because the corpse is not a living thing. It's an item. He just needs to strap it to himself, and then shit.
If you turned him into armor, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Right into the backpack.
I
and
didn't
just shit
need
down.
to eat the body. However,
Right. Let's get these wyvern eggs to port never, I guess.
Exactly. Not only did we bully the fucking wyvern, we stole her.
yeah, you bullied the wyvern, you stole her babies, and you kicked her husband out of his house. I hope you're proud of yourselves.
He didn't need to leave his house. He
You
coulda
were
come
gonna
back,
murder
but, like,
him.
We were.
only if he fought us.
We
Castle
were going
doctrine.
to.
What do you think he's gonna do? You're trying to steal his babies.
Yeah. No, we 100% were if he stayed around. I will freely admit that.
Yeah. Luckily,
We would
Cass the Wyvern lives another
been
day.
spending our time harvesting his wife for parts. He was an afterthought.
Okay, that's what his wife thought about him too.
Oh,
Whoa.
Oof.
Oof.
See, we couldn't kill him. He's too sad.
He's just a little guy. Didn't do no harm to anybody.
just a little guy.
Oh, he did a lot of fucking hard spitting down.
It's true. He did more net damage than the fucking boss in that encounter.
Yeah.
Little acid
Yeah,
turret.
Shows her who's boss.
Yeah, you really did. You really did. So yeah, that's the sum of last session. What is the plan today, everybody?
Port never, turn in wyvern eggs, meet up with Kinathis, and possibly get her help for Operation Restore Alba?
I think this is Operation Stone Cold Killer.
Necroverse.
No, not Necro Reverse. That's lame. There's no necromancy involved here.
Yeah,
Not at this
exactly.
moment, but if it does
Operation
arrive,
No Chromancy.
There you go.
but we should
So-
have a very good payday in these eggs. He was asking,
Unsurrection.
he was
Yeah, that's like
wanting
revengeance.
1,000 per egg.
Unsurrection.
Alright.
Revengeance. No, unsurrection.
If you are ready to head out then, it is like less than a day to Port Never at good speed. You do have some rented carts still available to you.
Yeah.
Good.
So, you will arrive in the late afternoon. It is a cool autumn day, getting on towards winter now. Indeed, you are just a couple of weeks away from it starting to get really quite cold. But at least you don't have to worry about snow.
Yeah,
And yeah,
Only
Philly,
ice.
Remind me, were there like deadly windstorms and shit?
nobody knows quite what to expect from the weather here. Thus far, no, the weather has been extremely mild all summer and into the winter.
What was it like last winter?
Last winter, again, very mild weather. There was some windstorms, but not anything too severe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
here's
very
the
dry.
thing though. Here's the thing. Even if there's no rain, there's gonna be ice. Because if it's cold enough to fucking freeze, then just the minuscule amount of moisture that comes off the ocean, just the water itself, is enough to touch and freeze into shit.
Yeah, there
Sure,
will
like Oath.
be ice, most likely, but luckily nobody drives cars here, so you don't have to worry about wiping out.
Yeah, but the drive horses and carriages.
Yes, but it's usually not severe enough that it causes them particular problems. And also during winter, people aren't generally moving much cargo around. Horses are mostly just, vibing in their barns, trying to stay warm.
Horsies.
I
Yeah,
say
that's the
barn,
one
but
thing I
like
think.
out in here, this area is sufficiently poor that like your barn animals stay in your house with you a lot. You don't have a separate building for them. Just live with your sheep. But yeah. Theli, as the day goes by, you could swear you have a ringing in your head that gets worse for like the first hour you're out of the deep and then begins to fade away slowly. It's quite discomforting, but does go away.
What would be like a check to self-diagnose?
Probably medicine.
Okay. I don't know. When the headache's at its worst, I would probably have given myself a little once-over, but like for a headache, I'm not going to Steve. It's
Yeah.
like
And you did also
extreme.
like effectively die briefly, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I don't. I basically am just like I wonder if this is just a post I died recently syndrome. I'm not gonna kick up a massive fuss on it.
Yeah.
Preemptively. Yeah, just when it's at its worst is when I self-diagnose, and we shall see if.
Yeah, it's most likely just a result of you having been pumped full of drugs and poison and having surgery.
Okay. Then yeah.
It's nothing to worry about, and shortly after you self-diagnose, it does start getting better.
That's fine then. I don't mind. Yeah, I don't bring it up to anyone then if that's the case.
Yeah, we don't need to worry about the hive mind growing in Everson Deep.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Look, they're all happy. Then
They're,
I'm
just-
happy.
they're pretty fun guys, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is late afternoon when you arrive at Port Never. Place is much as you left it. Nothing has burned down in your absence. Though most of the ships that you did see docked earlier have now left, including those big colony ships. So this fellow is gone.
That makes sense.
Yep. There are some larger fishing vessels in dock at the moment, but nothing unusual, really. The crowd of refugees around the outer wall has thinned down to about half its previous number. Means they moved probably about 2,000 people in the last couple days. Not an insignificant operation going on here.
We can only wish them well at this point.
Not much more you can do at this point. And so the party enters town.
Yeah. I think we should head first
Thanks.
to the inn where Vilathia was staying. Or Vilatha. Unload these and see from there.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
As you are heading that way, Ashe, you feel something thump you on the back of the shoulder while you walk. You hear a voice behind you. You, boy.
Oh. Well, hello there.
You turn and there is a red-haired kitsune standing behind you. Looks an awful lot like Kate, actually. Save for golden eyes and a much slimmer figure. Oh, yourself. You've certainly filled out.
Just a little bit.
You'll turn to the rest of you. Hello again.
Hi again.
Well, hello there.
I hope the voyage wasn't too rough.
Not especially.
Good.
Though the winter storms are starting to pick up, but I am not one to get seasick. Just, she will look down and put a hand on stomach. A bit morning sick.
I see they took. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes, there was never any doubt in my mind. She will look at Tori and just gently poke her with a... Where previously she'd had like a big, gnarly skeletal staff, now she just has a quite slim quarterstaff with a gold tip on the end. Give Tori a little boop on the chest. Hopefully nowhere near as effective as whatever happened to you.
Yeah. Dryad, demi-goddess magic.
Yeah, I have a feeling no one's really going to be
It
quite
happens.
as effective as Tori. Except maybe Saracena herself.
Adventure shenanigans.
Of course. Well, stranger things have happened, I suppose. Are we looking at, what, 8 of them, I guess?
Probably around there. They're
Wasn't it 4?
ready just about any day now.
I can tell.
Imagine anybody could tell at this point.
Wasn't it 4 last we checked? Just 1 plus 3 extra?
Doubt it. Unless they're really huge.
Could be really huge. I don't know.
Arlene will
Could be
shake her
4
head.
double-size ones.
Nah, Mom Squire was pretty sure it was going to be 8. Counted the egg circles in
Yeah.
her tummy, I guess.
The bumps.
Yeah, I trust Felicia to know all about it.
It's kind of her specialty.
Hmm.
Another character, no, just remember, was it like 8? It was.
No, it's
She
Oh,
was gonna have
it's 8.
one.
always been 8.
It's been 8. It's been 8 for like
Yeah.
It's been 8.
months.
It's been
Yep.
8.
It's
been
been
8,
8
okay.
ever since the Dryad thing, because she added an extra 7.
I thought it was. Oh,
Nope,
If
it's
it
been 8.
died as
7.
one child, it got
It was a
lot more
D4 plus
drastic.
3, and I rolled a 4.
Yeah, it was one manticore, and then she
Oh.
was it super filleted into 7 more.
Super
Super-
fetated. Super
Fetated.
fillated
Fetated.
is
Right.
more
I mean,
case
Wrong
she
thing.
did
specialty.
that
Something
too.
different.
She did that as well.
Okay.
Super fillated is what Kate did with me.
Your
we're-
extra ginger fox just sighs and shakes her head. It's been a long time since I interacted with adventurers. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of, we're on our way to the tavern to turn in a few things. Come with us
Yeah.
for a drink and talk over things?
Adventure
Yes,
stuff.
for a drink.
They do a nice tea
They
here.
got regular.
She looks in the direction you're going, towards the big dwarven alehouse. I'm pretty sure regular there would still kill me.
Oh, speaking of that, boy, do I have a tale for you.
And you just looked over. Oh, you grew one?
I will very briefly describe the events of Neverbrew.
Hmm.
That is interesting.
Isn't
And
it
you
just?
have one of these creatures with you?
Steve does.
Yep.
Why?
Should we be worried?
No, I don't think so. Although I wouldn't recommend swallowing it.
A
Again.
bit late for that, but I won't be doing it again.
Yes, well, just do take care. The mycelial network may not appreciate you absconding with one of its own.
And ponder for a moment. That might have been the headache. Oh well.
And they.
Oh, I had a bit of a splitter when we first left, but it cleared up.
I mean, that's all the more reason for us not to dissect it.
How do you plan to dissect a goo?
I think Steve just wants to turn them into a potion of freedom of movement or something.
Oh, that's more reasonable.
I had the feeling I should send Sherry ascending today. Make sure she gets out of there before more of this fungal mycelia hive mind gets roots there.
Hive
worry, it's-
mind?
Well, I
Since
assume it's
been-
probably one.
That's a bit generous, but not entirely incorrect if I understand what's happened here.
Seemed kind of like it.
More likely it's some sort of low-level telepathy.
Group buzz.
Yes. Given
Yeah,
the
I could-
dwarves' extraordinary constitution, one would potentially take over a normal human, or whatever you are, and probably is just leaving them with some minor psychic residue. They should be fine.
Works for me.
Alright then.
They were all singing at the same time yesterday.
I will go ahead and push her deceive button just so we're... Tori, to your insight,
What? I was.
No, this was about her noticing the dwarves actually all
Yeah.
being weird.
Sorry,
Bit late for that, but yeah, I mean, you definitely noticed them singing, but I don't think you'd have the context for like, oh, Theli was outside singing at that exact same moment.
I was just more like
Hey,
noticing. I guess I didn't know Theli was, but like, I was just like, see if I would have noticed that they were all like, with the context that like minor level telepathy. If I noticed that they were all like, all
I don't think you would
eerily
have
in
noticed
sync.
anything really unusual. Yeah, maybe folk were a little more in sync than usual. There was certainly very little strife going on for a big dwarven fort full of surly dwarves.
Yeah, I would have said they were singing awfully in sync.
I can think of worse fates. Have you heard them when they sing out of sync?
It's worse when they're singing in sync.
Yes, I'd prefer not to hear dwarves singing at all. Speaking of which,
Yeah,
we
because
have a
they like
tavern
it
to
that.
visit. Yes, let's make this quick.
Yeah. We have a few things to deliver in there and get a bit of a payday from it.
Yes, a few things. You will glance at your egg cart. So, what's the story with these things exactly? You're delivering potion ingredients?
It's
It
something of the
just
like.
points at the
Probably.
thumbs at the giant manticore head, matriarch skull.
What?
What?
Which one it
The
is?
Wyvern matriarch skull, not the Manticore matriarch
Ah.
skull. I haven't
Oh,
beheaded any
right.
Okay,
manticores.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I noticed the grisly trophy.
Yeah, a woman in town, an elf by the name of Valathon, had a request
Oh,
for
Valatha.
wyvern eggs.
Yes, well, let's go then.
Mm-hmm. And we'll make our way over there with the carts.
Can head on over to the other side of the bay. Now with Kathy in tow. When you arrive, you are in time to see another small party of adventurers making their way out of the tavern, excitedly chattering amongst themselves. I swear you hear the word wyvern thrown out once or twice. And you will find Valatha in her same seat as before, hidden
I'm not
away in the
enough of
back.
a dick to like let them go on an adventure they find out has already been resolved. I'm gonna like pat one on the shoulder and
Yeah.
indicate the matriarch skull.
Little cat girl will glance down. Whoa, is that what I think it is? Whoa, that's badass.
Heck yeah.
She will.
Sorry, heard you mentioning wyverns. Didn't want you to go up there for a wasted trip if you were on the same job.
She'll like glance past you back into the tavern. Is there like a cap on the number of eggs you wanted? No, dear. You can bring as many as you want.
Okay,
Oh,
have fun.
fair.
They
Wonderful.
just got a lot safer for you.
Cat girl will give you 2 thumbs up and then scurry off to go meet her friends. Time you make it over to where Valatha's sitting, Kathy has already slid into the booth across from her. They are speaking quietly in ancient Elven. Steve, of course, and Theli, this is second nature to you. They appear to be quite familiar with each other, exchanging greetings and, how have you been? Valatha's asking about Kathy's last semester up in school.
Yeah. I'll be polite and mention that me and Steve understand them, just in case they thought they were going to say anything secret, and then give them the thumbs up. Carry on. Don't want to be rude by accident.
Falafel will quirk a brow. You don't see many people speaking Ancient Elven who aren't Elven themselves these days. A scholar, are
I'm
you?
at least half.
Oh. Yeah,
The
this
other
one.
half's a little something special. I feel like she's already done a check on me, hasn't she?
I think she
She in
figured
the
out.
tower?
Yeah, I think she figured out you were like Half-Medusan last time.
Okay.
She'll
Didn't
give you a
know about the
squint for
elf
the other
hair.
half now. I see. Well, you are an old soul.
Old soul, young spirit.
Well, I can see through the window you've brought me something quite special.
Well, you wanted a prime example, so
I certainly did. How many did you manage to recover?
well, she had like 3.
Yep, all 3
Mhm.
matriarch eggs.
3 in the big nest.
Balotha will switch back to Arunan. And the matriarch's dead now, I take it?
She is,
Mhm.
Correct. Do you know if there's a bounty in town for that?
I don't believe there is, but I will certainly make it worth your while in terms of her eggs.
Sure. Oh, maybe I can sell the head as a mounting piece for the Rackhams. I'm sure they'd like a trophy.
or you can keep it for yourself as a trophy.
It's a lot to carry around when I don't own land yet.
Yeah.
You can put it in Brenna's house.
True. True. Actually, yeah, that would be fun.
she probably
mind.
scared the shit out of anyone that tried.
Yeah, that'd make her pretty much Robin-proof. If Amy wasn't doing that already.
Are you going to have the head preserved or just keep the skull?
I've already
Well, I
done
have-
the preservation with Steve. Yeah, we're both
Yeah.
alchemists and dissectorers, so yeah, the head's treated. It's ready to be put on like a nice wooden plaque. It just hasn't been plaqued. It's just a big fucking head.
Usually you do a little bit of cleanup and then some clean through before placking it up. So
Yeah, it'll need like a polish and tending, but
It'll look
As
really
you said,
nice
right.
placed above a fireplace.
that's the hope.
Yes, well... Matriarch's dead, and with that, these eggs become the end of her bloodline. Very well done.
Thank
Balotha
you.
will
Mm-hmm.
reach into her satchel and produce a quite hefty coin purse. Open it up. Let's see. This is all of her eggs. I am willing to offer you the princely sum of 3,000 gold pieces per.
Very well. Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Would you like that in platinum?
Probably easiest to carry.
That would
Yeah.
be easiest for us, yes.
Good.
How much? I'm sorry, how much?
3,000 per egg, so we're getting 9,000 total.
900 plat.
900 plat.
Goodness gracious.
Kathy will
We don't even
do a
have-
whistle.
We don't even have a section of on this sheet for platinum.
yes, we do.
Hmm?
Yeah, you do.
On the
On the
character
party
sheet?
loot? On the party
Oh,
loot.
the party
Oh,
loot.
party loot, no.
Oh, party loot.
Oh,
No.
yeah.
Oh, party
That's generally just in GP.
We'll just put it in GP, yeah.
So an extra 9 grand.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll count out the platinum pieces, which, even as subtle as she's trying to be with it, you are in a tavern full of dwarven workers. Attention is turned towards you as she does so, inevitably. That is a fucking titanic stack of precious metals.
I'll pat the wyvern skull as though that's explanation enough. I'm sure she doesn't want to get into the whole ordeal of it.
Kathy will flick her little fox ears. I'd be more worried about being robbed on the way out, but
Yeah, that's what I'm more worried about with it, but we can handle ourselves.
I'm sure the matriarch's skull will speak volumes. Olaf will gently push the stack towards where Thelly's sitting. I believe that is our
Excellent.
business concluded.
I believe
Indeed
so.
it is, unless you need more.
I have many needs, but none that require adventures at the moment. And I have an overseas voyage. I imagine I'm going back the way you came, Kathy. Is your ship still here? Yes, still in dock. In fact, you can probably still have my berth. I don't think they're taking passengers back to Avara. Not a popular destination these days. Of course. Well then, I will go and get some longshoremen to handle these eggs. And the rest of you, she will flick an additional platinum piece towards the bartender. Enjoy a drink on me. It's been a pleasure.
Skill.
Of course. Anytime.
Mm-hmm.
Valatha will snap fingers towards a couple of dwarves, speak a command in Dwarven, and they will scurry to take the eggs from your cart and off towards the ships. Steve, what in the world are you doing?
I told you I was gonna make a goddamn proper cup of tea.
You don't need to roll for that. But yes, you can make a cup of tea.
Okay.
No, like I said, a proper, because we're talking about elven and stuff like that. It'd be like
You still
15.
don't need to roll for it. You know how to make tea.
Yeah.
Yes, Kathy will sniff at it once you bring it around, and her eyes will widen. Oh my. And that's a scent I haven't smelt in a very long time. I'll look Steve up and down again. How old are you, boy?
I'm only in my 400s.
Oh, it's just a spry young thing. Well, you'll sip the tea and nod. You're quite good for your age. Well done. She will reach up and she
Amuses
will
me
pat
more
Steve
when-
on the top of the head.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's nothing that amuses me more when, like, far, far older immortals start giving people the "aren't you precious" treatment.
Oh, what a good boy. Well done, lad.
Yep. That shit fucking does me in a me.
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart. No, that's just rude. I'll fuck you up if you bless your heart, mate.
No, no, that sort of fucking bless your heart. It's like, you're a dumb motherfucker, aren't you?
Yeah, no, she is not saying this with, like, contempt or derision. It's, good lad. Pat, pat. We'll sit back and sip her tea while the rest of you enjoy your dwarven vodka.
My recently healed liver insists that I unfortunately drink light, which is to say I have beer.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah,
course.
I don't recommend you drinking much of anything at this point.
Oh yeah. No, she knows that. It's gonna take a few years for that to heal up. So, light drinking.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, if you poison yourself consistently, you might kill off whatever fungi might still be in there.
Yes, you see, I've been secretly microdosing things that will kill me.
You must have some very interesting stomach flora.
Oh, probably, actually.
It just doesn't say a fucking thing. It's just
His fucking
flat
stomach
face.
floor is goddamn Vietnam.
No, fuck, not even Agent Orange wants to touch that shit.
You know, as where on my case, it's less stomach flora and more like stomach fauna.
Ah, yes, of course, a ranger. That's where you
Nods.
keep your animal companions.
No nonsense. I'm just, you know, probably harboring some number of parasites that are living in, like, I don't know, equilibrium.
Then it's not a parasite, it's a symbiote.
Whatever. I say they're in equilibrium because they're all fighting each other. They probably wouldn't be very symbiotic with me. It's the fucking
Well,
Three
if you
Stooges
want, I
problem.
can take a look.
No, I'm fine. Okay. Unless I start getting, like, serious internal distress, I'm pretty sure I've just been able to handle whatever nature's thrown at me.
Yeah, used to, but you're going to, your liver needs to regrow. So
It'll be fine. Those things grow back on their own, and magic was used, and magic will continue to be used. Think about how many life-threatening, horrible injuries have been dealt on a regular basis to all of us. My liver barely hurts already. I'm just not overdoing it because I found that I get drunk as a skunk on very little alcohol now that it's been freshly healed.
yes, I know. I've been taking notes of each injury.
Just spreads her hands.
Yeah, so speaking of time... Ashe, have you decided where you're wintering this year?
I will be staying in Taylor Town.
Town. It's an awful long way from Raymont.
It is. But time spent here is better to bring up future allies when I go further north.
A fair point, but might I suggest you have a future ally you ought to be more concerned with than politicking with the barbarians?
Oh,
She will just glance down, put hand on stomach.
yes. There is much to talk about that and seeing where we develop with it.
Yes, there's much to talk about.
I will pat you on the back in sympathy.
I suppose I should ask first, how involved do you want me to be with them? I, of course, very much want to be involved, but that is part of your decision as well.
If you want to be involved, then I want you to be involved. Yes, of course.
Good.
I didn't come all this way just to, I don't know, wag my tail in your face and tell you I'm taking your baby away.
Power move if you were, though.
Yes,
Now you
and
would
then
need
I would have a very angry salamander from a very powerful family probably chasing after me for the rest of my days. I have enough problems without that, thank you.
No, don't worry. They would have understood if you flew away on a broom.
That could be
Mhm.
arranged, but I would rather not. No, what I would like to do is go to Raymont with you and introduce myself to your family. That would be appropriate, don't you think?
Likely would be, yes.
Now, do you Raymonts have a penchant for leaving bastards in your wake, or are you going to make an honest woman of me?
I will not leave a bastard, no. I wasn't quite sure how much you wanted with that, but I believe we can begin trying to court and see where it goes from there.
We're a bit past courting, boy.
Yay, wedding.
You say that, but we know little about each other yet, other than the Night of Passion.
Please, like that stopped nobility for centuries. Men and women get married all the time, barely knowing each other.
When
That's
did you
true.
meet this lady, Ashe?
You were there.
You were
Out of
in the
out of
Moon Tower.
character.
We found the retard. I was wondering which one of you wouldn't recognize me. The kitsune will
Jeez.
waggle her fingers and will shapeshift right in front of your eyes. The necromancer from the tower.
I mean, I
Maybe
knew
like-
who she was.
It'd be like,
Is Vale that?
it just
I
looks
didn't
at
think.
look,
I didn't think. I figured Vale probably wouldn't notice. Wouldn't have.
Val, you are a precious soul.
no, she's
Oh!
she's not.
Tori wouldn't have noticed
Oh.
if not for Ashe like talking to her and like acting like she was the same person.
That's why Vale was confused.
She will revert to
She's
fox
not
form and
meant-
just pat you on the head.
She's not mentally deficient. She had taken
She's just chivalrous.
severe. She had taken severe beating, even up to that point, and she took
Nice.
more afterwards. So
I'm
the fact that
familiar
she
with the
doesn't
role of a
remember-
fighter in a group, or paladin, or whatever you are. Look you up and down. Paladin, definitely. Yes, it is her job to take the concussion so that you don't have to, boy. I have, in fact, done things with my life other than just sitting in academia. Still, it was very amusing to find at least somebody didn't recognize me.
I just went with context clues, otherwise I wouldn't have been able to tell.
Mm-hmm.
The
It's a very
Elven kinda
convincing
gave it away.
disguise.
It was easily deduced by, we're going to be meeting a woman that's going to talk to me. Suddenly, random woman walks up and talks to him.
Yes.
I feel I
If
should be offended on some level. You think women don't just come up to talk to me, Steve?
I mean,
I mean,
Random
look.
women on this.
random
Random
women who
women
are
that.
Ashe, if random women come up to you with intent to speak to you about the children of yours they're having on the street,
No,
we're
no,
going
no,
to
not
have some
about
yeah,
problems.
that.
No, not that bit.
That's
that,
what I mean.
That Steve isn't. Never mind.
I understand. You're very charming, don't worry.
Need is appreciated.
This is a treat. Oh,
It is.
You remember Lady Alba, right? Gesture at Gargoyle friend.
I do, yes. Alba will nod and then quirk head curiously. I do feel like I've met you somewhere before. Do you audit courses up in Redwater? No, your elf form. Had we met before? I don't know. Lady Alba, you're going to have to be more specific. I've lived a very long time and met a lot of, well, not that many stone women, but it wasn't always stone. Of course. She will glance at Theli, then at Alba. Oh, let me guess, this is where you want me to unstone her?
Oh, not quite,
quite.
actually. You see, Alba here isn't the statue. She is a soulstone piloting a statue that used to be herself. If we turned her back, she'd die or become a wicht of some kind.
Interesting. I've heard
Yeah.
of similar cases in Igniferus, but not with the original body. That's
Yeah.
new.
So we've been looking into ways to get her back in her body without, turning her into an undead in the process.
I mean, would that be so bad?
It would be worse than being alive, for sure.
Debatable.
Mm,
I'll just
no,
scowls.
The choice is being alive as a beautiful elven woman. Like, if you're a human and you're afraid you're gonna cork it in like 30 years, then yeah, I can get why you'd be like, oh well, Wicked might not be so bad. I'll make do with the hungering for mortal flesh or whatever. But no, I think it's definitely a step down for Alba.
Alba will cross her arms. And you're really not beating the Lord Winter Associate allegations, are you? Kathy will just put her hands up. Alright, I'm simply saying. Being
There are
an
worse
undead...
fates, but I don't think it's the better one.
That is your choice,
yeah.
fair enough. That does make this harder, though.
Yes, we've come up with a way to actually do it. We were wondering how good you were with magic circles.
I am very good with magic circles. I don't teach magic, but I am a capable wizard still, yes.
Okay. Well, the plan was essentially to depetrify Alba, break her soul stone while inside a magic circle with her body, kill her suddenly mortal, temporarily living flesh, and then revivify her so she snaps back into place again alive.
Yeah, she's getting fucking help with this bullshit. There's no way.
Yeah, no, she, like, lifts her hat up and takes a, like, little bunny rabbit out from under it and looks at it. Looks at Alba, looks at Theli, looks at the rabbit, puts the rabbit back in the hat. Yeah, that'll probably work, actually.
See, we all kept being surprised when it turns out that, yeah, we could just do that.
The only wrinkle would be the body... It's been petrified a long, long time. There's at least a chance there could be some rejection of the soul. Much like a host rejects certain creatures living inside them, or even blood transfusions.
True, but her soul's been adjacent to her body for the entire duration.
Yes, adjacent to, but not inside.
I guess.
I have this
Is there a
great
way we
study on the
can...
blood works.
Yeah, is there a way we could then alleviate that risk? Could we dope her with Residium to make it easier?
That would certainly help, but I would suggest that you have come to the right place for this sort of thing. I don't know if you remember the tower, but I'm rather adept with manipulating souls.
Yeah, that's why you were the first one we thought of. I'm quite happy to hear that Ashe had invited you down.
Well, I'm happy to be of service. She will wink at Ashe. I might just waive my consultancy fee, even.
Look, if you're worried, though, you can still put an invoice in so that it's tax deductible.
Well, Well, unfortunately, this is going to count as foreign income regardless.
True.
I've traveled through 3 countries to get here. So off on a bit of an adventure.
Right.
Then again, I am
Regardless.
long overdue for a sabbatical, so I don't intend to return to Redwater for a fairly long time.
Where is Redwater? Oh, wait, Redwater Bay.
That's Ivaran coast.
No, it's not.
No, is it not?
Isn't
no,
that
you came
north?
through
Yep,
Ivaran.
it is
north.
north.
Right.
Hold on, let me
Yeah. Yeah.
take you all the way
That's
to the
far
island
north, I
map.
think.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in Spherin.
Yep.
Yep.
We've
So in
never
order to get
been-
here, she
ever
started
been
in
there.
Redwater, teleported to Avara, got in a boat, and came all the way over.
You must tell me about the 3 cities, though, by the way. I've never ever travelled outside of this, I guess, continent.
It's technically still in the same continent, but it is a different country.
Landmass, I suppose. I vaguely count, like, adjacent small islands, but you get it.
No, it's the same landmass, just follow the coast north, 2,000 miles or so. This is a very long continent we're on. Not all that wide, but very long.
Fair.
And Spherin used to be part of this country until the hobgoblins took over. Once they kicked the occupiers out, they decided that the new queendom of Runa was entirely too soft and broke away.
Yeah.
The hobgoblins had a much harder time up north.
Right.
I've heard tales of how that all worked out for them.
Didn't they put them all to the sword?
Yes. Yes, they...
Dirty business.
The free cities, as they are now, put all their hobgoblins to the sword as they began to lose the protection of the army. Then, collectively, sent an army south to tell the Arunans marching up, "No, sorry, we don't want none," and then immediately fragmented into squabbling city-states, very independently minded, and surprisingly quite wealthy.
Maybe not surprisingly if they're taking everything that the hobgoblins had already had there and then hoarding it for themselves.
Oh, please, the Empire did nothing to enrich its territories. The Empire existed to extract wealth from its colonies, not develop it. No, they've made a remarkable trade with the Frostlands to the north, trading amber and precious metals down south.
That tracks.
Ooh, amber. Lovely.
Yes, it was a region that called for my particular talents, and I've been there pretty much since the war ended. But I am eager to see how this new Aruna actually works now that I'm here. Read books, but all of them pointed to a general assessment of not well.
Only one way to find out is to take part.
Now, specifically, the duchy here has been a
And your
rather
collective
rough
silence
time.
speaks volumes.
No.
Say that?
Can you hear us, Savin?
You said the silence speaks volume. We're all talking.
God, what is wrong with Discord?
I don't know.
Yeah. I was
It's-
saying I'm greatly interested in seeing how it shakes out as well. It's been interesting so far, and then you just went, well, clearly that tells it then if no one's got anything to say about it. I'm like,
Yeah, no, I was saying, like, the duchy is having a rather rough time of it.
Yeah,
as
no,
it
it's just I said that and then it was dead silence. But I could hear. I swear I could hear Skow's fucking AC going. It's the weirdest
Yeah, I
shit.
can hear that going constantly. But yeah, no, I was saying the duchy itself is having a rather rough time of it, but it isn't a rather fair example given the drought and situation.
Yes, examples are never fair. There's no laboratory you can test politics in.
Well, regardless, is there anything that you might need in order to prepare a magic circle?
Oh, yes,
You
good question.
get to work helping Alba.
If one of you could go down to, I don't know, the market or whatever and find a pearl, and maybe 300 gold's worth of residium.
Sure, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yes.
How big of a pearl do you want?
She will gesture to her thumbnail. That big should suffice. It shouldn't be terribly expensive. At least not here on the coast. And it shouldn't be destroyed either, so they can have it back after.
Alright, excellent. Then, yeah, I'll go out into the town and try to source that.
Oh, and one of you will need to find somewhere to put the circle. Witches making magic circles in the city streets tends to get them burnt at the stake.
Yeah, we can probably find a warehouse or a similar building to rent for a day or something like that.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm sure we
that
could
would be
borrow
perfect.
a storage.
A warehouse would be good. That will give us plenty of privacy in case... She glances at Alba. And she turns out to be a screamer. I turn out to be what? Nothing.
It's probably going to hurt at first.
Probably the entire way through, I'd imagine.
A hurt doesn't quite do it justice. It won't be a physical agony, at least.
Just a soul-rending one.
Wow, y'all are really great at building confidence, huh?
Oh, you two are gonna be fucking insufferable, I can see.
No, it's trying to. You're saying like soul rendering, and his magical knowledge never came up with this idea in the first place. It was the two weirdos in the corner, the Satans, thought it up.
Like,
Okay,
So
sometimes
the
it
fact
just,
that his magical
just take-
expertise is speaking about it, it's like, nah.
then like sometimes it just happens to take the right gang of weirdos to throw enough stupid ideas at the wall.
Yeah.
That and quite literally breaking the soul stone and releasing the soul within a magic circle. I don't think you get much more soul rending than that.
No, that's you actually don't get soul rending at all because you're misusing the word itself. You're destroying
I
a
see, it's
vessel,
that
thus releasing the
pedantry
soul.
business,
You're
I
not
see.
rendering it.
Oh,
You're
great.
releasing it.
I'm like already heading towards the market.
Yeah. Learn your magical terminology, boy.
So how much would this run me?
For the warehouse and the pearl, probably $150.
Okay.
As long as you're going to give the pearl back anyway.
Yeah.
Rent a pearl.
With the adventurer creds of having the Wyvern Matriarch's head hopping around with you, yeah, it's not particularly hard to find a noblewoman willing to part with a pearl.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, you know, I'd probably end up giving her more at the time just as a deposit. Alright, as for the residium, is there a place to source it here, or will we need to make it ourselves?
Making it yourselves would certainly be the most expedient way. You can give me a persuade or investigate check to try and see if there's a powerful enough wizard in town, but you don't see any... Yeah, you don't find any, like, mage towers or vendors in the town itself. There are people here who could source it for you with some time, but if you want it now, you'll pretty much have to just make it yourself.
Sure. Are you still okay with that, guard?
Yeah. Can we? What is
Yeah, well.
Kathy's skill at breaking it down? Not that I
Break
don't
it down in a
trust Steve.
sexual style.
It's an arcana.
Yeah, she has a
So-
7 Arcana.
I have a 9,
Yeah, I think.
and
Okay.
I have
Yeah.
Flash of Genius.
Yeah, Steve is
Secondly, I would
definitely
like to
your
point-
Steve it
breakdown
up.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say this though. We also have that 500 Residium rock.
Oh yeah, wait,
That
we
we
can just
got-
use the rock. Probably the fastest.
Yeah, it's right there. We don't need to break down. We have the rock there that could be used as like a creation for a magical pendant or an implement that we got from Spider Friend that we fed the boar bacon
Yeah.
in the tower.
Oh right, of course. God, it's been a while. Okay.
I
Yeah,
guess
just
since
tell-
that's worth 500 GP, is at least 300 of that the Residium?
Fucking.
Yeah, there was 500 GP in Residium.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it should just be the whole
iron
thing is
meteorite.
Residium.
Oh,
And just carve off
great.
3/5 of it.
Okay.
just start shaving it off in little slices like it's
Oh,
Cheese.
all the
yeah.
all the fucking casters was like, just
It's-
rubbing
it's-
fingers, like
It's just
chocolate
like a
chip
hot
cookies.
knife like shaving Gruyere.
the ones so fucking exhausted. I would fucking just go to the kitchen and get some. Fuck, you're out height. Little shit.
Yeah, as long as you've had a good time.
Oh yeah, I had a great time. It was just, I got tired. Out there, doing the shit that I love. Because he got that more engine than I did. The little shit.
Hooray! Wunderbar.
Well, he
Yeah.
got to play Roblox on 5G, so
Fair enough. Problem solved.
I'm sorry, Hedrah. You're old now.
motherfucker, I know that. I am
The
literally old enough
future
to
is
be
now,
all the-
Mima.
At least you didn't have to play the
Damn it.
Fortnites or whatever.
Yeah, no. I survived that because he hates Fortnite. But he loves Roblox. And there's like a shit ton of game versions inside the Roblox that he plays.
Anyway. We have the pearl, we have the ring.
This is fundamentally not anything you need to spend too much time sourcing. I think it's like really just a few hours to disenchant a magic item, so it'll probably be closer to midnight when you're all collected and ready.
We didn't even
I
need
mean,
to
it's a
disenchant
magic
that. We
hour.
just
Yeah.
shaved
We didn't even
thingy
need
off.
to.
Oh, that's right, you weren't
Yeah.
disenchanting anything, you were just shaving off Residium from the fucking nut. Right,
Yeah,
well,
but
in that
we
case,
would also... Wait, we would also need that because the Revivify is a 3rd level spell, which you need 300 GP worth of Residium to.
Okay, so we would
That-
still
that
need to break
needs-
a thing down.
Diamonds, doesn't it?
Well, you need to be able to cast
I need it for
in
the spell
the-
slot.
Yeah, or Thelerien needs it for the spell slot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
then Steve,
so-
do your breakdown roll.
Yeah, break
Okay,
it down
I
sexual
will.
style.
Break it down.
Let me break it down
Steve.
for you,
Vince-
Mark.
Quirked up.
Winston, let's go.
This fucking
Nice.
And
quirked up
nothing
white elf with the
lost.
sauce.
Unless you roll a 1.
Yeah.
You didn't roll a 1.
alright. Steve proves he is an archmage in an alchemist body. And loses 0 Residium value.
Hell
Kathy
yeah.
will clap hands. Well done. You are a precocious thing, aren't you?
They're calling it it's too fucking cute
The,
for
di-
Steve.
the disrespect. Well, no, it's
even
not disrespect.
It's clearly
just
not. It is. This is just a friendly grandma who's treating a 40-year-old like a kid.
Yeah, Steve
I
is in his
just-
40s, and Mima here is in her, 130s.
You're
Just-
too
We don't want
skinny,
that.
Steve. You need to get more meat on your bones.
Just go here and just Google Precocious meaning. Enter. Okay.
Yes,
Just-
precocious. So it is a
Ah.
kind, charming thing usually said about children. So it is adorable to hear Steve
Oh,
being
it's like,
called
oh,
precocious.
I didn't expect that someone out of that someone that young, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Okay, then I'll just like,
It is like a kid drawing, like they're just sat at a table drawing, and then you see what they're doing, and it's actually fucking legit, and you're like, oh, wow.
Look at you
I don't even have to joke about. I don't even have to joke
Hmm.
about this being fridge art. You fucking nailed it, kid. Well done.
then I just, well, I have a few years of experience. Thank you.
I can tell. Well, couldn't have done it better myself. Now,
Okay.
she will clap hands together. Let's get this show on the road.
This is going to be so unpleasant for me, but I am excited regardless.
I think it's gonna be
I
worse
think
for
it's
Alba.
going to be. Yeah, I was going to say because I think it's going to be a lot worse for poor Alba.
Alba will just nod slightly. If I breathed, I would be hyperventilating, I assure you.
Noted.
It'll be okay.
I
We
trust
got
all of you,
this.
but also I have never died before. I don't expect that's a pleasant experience, and then reviving
No,
in
it's not.
a stone body. Or formerly stone.
Well, I have just opens one of the ropes. I have painkillers. I have psychoactives. I am ready for everything in case
So
you need
let's
it.
go. Let's go over order of operations one more time before we start this up. Just make sure we know what we're doing and how we're going to do it. Yes?
Sure.
We
Yeah,
are.
so Alba, Theli in the circle. Circle activates.
Mm-hmm.
That's step 1. Step 2 is gem
Break-
removal.
Yeah. Remove the. No. Break the gem. It can still be sat in her chest when it gets broken. Can be revivifying her anyway.
I will point out, though, it's embedded in it, which means she will be revivified with a crystal stuck in her chest.
Again, revivify should push out any kind of wounds like that.
Yes, Revivify will do such. Just make sure that her extremities are all attached still.
Yeah.
Arrow to the heart, yes. Decapitation, no.
I've tended to Alba enough to know that she's like correctly all mortared together and
Yes, you have done
intact.
a
Yeah.
consistently good job of keeping Alba from breaking apart.
Yeah. That should be fine.
Although, when you mention that, Alba will kind of glance at you. You have actually mortared me many times. Is that just going to become flesh, or am I going to be a patchwork of miscolored bits and pieces?
What's more likely is that you'll come back as a body, and there's going to be some discomfort as you push mortar out of your ridges.
I mean, no,
Maybe there'll be scars?
no,
I mean, actually, to be
There
fair,
will
most
be-
of the mortar I made out of you, so
Yes,
it will be
most.
just scar tissue.
yes, there'll be some sand probably, some aggregate, but that'll be about it. Should be fine.
If she's lucky, her body will just push all that out, and if not, you might need to exfoliate a bit. It shouldn't be that bad.
Just open on the side of his robe. I have things for that too.
So many things to show you, and it's mostly exfoliants and nice soaps. Yeah, alright then.
That's step
Lady
2.
Alba?
Yeah, so once you're in the circle, break soulstone, flesh to stone, kill body, then revivify.
Yep.
I'm just gonna, let's see here. Check this door, lock it. Check this door, lock it. Check this door,
Yeah.
lock it.
Check all the windows, lock that shit down.
Yeah,
Probably
block out
boards.
the windows.
Probably board
make
windows
sure-
if it's a warehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kate will put a hand on Steve's shoulder. So I'm casting the Revivify, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you'd like to. Otherwise, I can do it. Be whoever wants to rip the fat line.
Well, I reckon Steve's a better doctor than me, and Thelly, you're a friend, so if anyone's gonna get knocked out by a hell of a nosebleed, it might as well be me.
I will make
Okay.
sure
I
you
could
have a lap
also-
pillow afterward.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Could be Vale. Tell you what, rock, paper, scissors for it.
I will say that this
How do you play rock, paper, scissors?
the
It's a D3.
weak the
D3,
Yeah, just
the
D3.
lesser
Rock,
the
paper,
hardier
scissors.
you are, the less of total damage it will be on you.
Kate covers your fist with her hand. Aha! Gotcha.
Well, I guess it is you then.
I get to suffer the immense magical trauma of snorting the ashes of creation. Look at me.
Lucky you.
I'll be
I
sure to
am a
patch you up
biotic
afterwards.
god. I think things and they happen.
Yeah.
Fear me, lesser creatures, for I am biotics made flesh. You need help. You need help. You stand before me.
For shame, you'll experience the ashes of creation, and then have to have a lap pillow afterward.
Tragic.
Vale, feel free to lay hands on me anytime. Wink.
Yeah, and other character, make sure all your characters' tokens are maxed up and ready.
Why would you assume something dangerous would happen that would require that?
Gee, I don't know.
Because I'm a paranoid
gee
person
willikers.
that really wants their friends not to fucking die or suffer tremendous fucking bullshit.
Nah, you'll be
True.
fine.
We eat bullshit for
Mm.
breakfast.
Ew.
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 That's definitely not how I got the parasites, I can tell you that much.
Okay. Let's see here. We're in town. I use up adventure kit uses. I can refill those, probably up to 3. Can I use an adventure kit to like make some soundproofing for the doors, or like in case Alba is a screamer?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty reasonable.
I will do so.
Okay. Gonna lie Alba down on a towel.
Alright, this is fine. I am fine. I am a powerful
You are
archwizard. I can handle some pain. This is fine.
You will be fine.
Thelly,
Just think about how novel it is. You haven't felt that in, ages.
I can't feel
really-
much of
really
anything, but I could still use
yeah.
to feel a hug about now.
Oh, I'll give you a big hug first.
Little squeeze hug. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. I'm excited and terrified in equal measure.
Sounds
I'm
about right to me.
Absolutely not going to embarrass myself.
Just think about what a novel experience it will be to feel. It's like when you get sick and then you're like really genuinely impressed at how unwell you're currently feeling. You're like, oh, this is a fucking good one. This is fucking me up completely.
Whoa.
Yes. Well, at least we're by the waterside. Can projectile vomit into the sea if worst comes to worst. Alright. I am ready. I am ready. Kate
Circle
will
time.
step up with staff. Kathy will seal the circle. Alright, Ranger, get out. I don't want you accidentally ensoling her by yourself.
Yep. I'll be off to the side. Yeah.
Alright, so on 3, 2, 1, Kate will tap Alba with the staff, and she turns from stone to flesh and expires immediately.
Yep.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's quite pretty.
Oh, absolutely.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a good art. Alright.
That-
Step 2. Smashy.
The soul
Stab.
stone is pushed out of the chest of the dead elf you have stored in the dead elf storage shed, along with several fine grains of sand and rock from her extremities, just kind of shotgunning around inside the circle. They are still magically charged from the staff, and so bounce harmlessly off of the aether. And yeah, you can reach in and crunch the soul stone. There is a banshee-like wail all around you. And Kathy will raise her hands. Alright, this is the fun part. Let's keep you from disintegrating, soul. And time to roll Arcana. Kate is going to throw a bardic on her. Which you
Good
didn't
choice.
make,
Nice.
but...
Yeah.
It's all good.
24.
Alright. With arcane gestures and chants, the necromancer will wrap up the soul into a cohesive little ball of energy, and push it towards Kate. Will cast Revivify after chugging a bunch of blue lightning, giving herself a killer migraine.
Ow.
Yeah, just
Ouch.
nukes 3/4 of her health. Kicks off... Actually, wait, she could just cast the spell, period. She doesn't need Residium, now that I think about it.
Yeah,
It's
she has
just
a
a
little
third
spell
level
slot.
spellcaster.
It will take all her vitality.
I forgot
to do
she
so,
leveled
though,
up.
Yeah, Kate is, in fact, a fucking third level bard. She could
Yep.
just cast Revivify.
Yep.
So, yeah, she will not nuke all of her health. And
Good
instead,
plan.
just pocket that
Nuke all her
Residium.
vitality.
Yeah, just to blow all of her vid. This is a much less valuable resource than 300 GP.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is a motion in Alba's body as if she's getting defibrillated. Just all of her limbs go rigid and her chest thumps off the ground. And then she does herself a hell of a scream. But that is all it is. Just a howl of agony as her soul re-inhabits dead flesh and ancient muscles begin to spasm and twitch.
And here comes the painkiller.
Yeah! She will
Would
see
thanks
Steve
to
coming, put up a hand, just go over here, almost make it to the dock, and just...
Ooh.
Would physical
Throw
painkillers
up a
even?
pound of sand and silt.
Yeah, it is like
Ugh.
50%
Oh.
rock matter and then 50%
Gross.
what looks like probably some sort of shrimp scampi.
Ugh.
I'm surprised that's still intact.
Alba just puts her middle finger up over her shoulder.
Fossilized shrimp scampi.
The last thing she ate, I suppose?
It would be.
Yep.
Gotta be.
I'm surprised that got reanimated as well.
The real fucked up thing would be if the shrimp were alive again.
The shrimp were alive. No,
Ah,
thankfully becoming Scampy would have decapitated all of it.
Fireworks on whatever you ate last, too.
yeah, no. Like the shrimp are already like chopped up, so decapitated. Can't come back from that.
Yeah, luckily you didn't cast true resurrection on her. Yeah, she recovers after a few moments, slumps to her knees. Everyone, I would like to make an announcement. That fucking hurt.
That sounded like
Yeah.
it sucked. But it looks like it worked.
Yes,
She
welcome
gets
back to
jabbed
the land
with
of
a
the
mild
living.
version.
Ow. Oh god, everything's sensitive.
Yeah. Welcome back to the land of the living.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You just knocking her out? Or what?
No, it's like she got
Alright,
the
alright.
she
Just
got the
giving her...
mild morphine to the neck. So that's like now everything's gonna feel fine.
Yeah, now she feels great. Sways on her knees a little bit and catches Thely's thigh. Fuck. Okay, I actually am fine. That worked. This worked. I'm alive.
Welcome back.
I have fingers and I can do this. She will reach up and just poke Thely in the tit. I feel. And I'm not sick anymore. That's good.
Yay.
Wait a minute, sick.
Sick?
Oh, it's nothing. Just I felt my stomach lurch again. But no, I'm all right. I am all right.
Well, you have a doctor right there. Just give me a minute.
Yes, you should have at least a little bit of a checkup after that.
I
27.
feel like a lot of one, really.
Yeah, all right. 27. You give Alba a medical checkup. So good news and bad news. The bad
pregnant.
news is that Alba was in fact dead before she got
Yeah.
turned to
Yeah.
stone.
Huh.
That
Oh.
makes sense for soul stoning. Yeah.
You will find several. Well, what really keys Steve off on this is where a lot of these bits and bobs shot out of her body, around the breast and lymph nodes. It would appear that Alba died of terminal cancer. And now she's fine. Because she got revivified and all that shit just shot out.
Because
That's good.
It had 1,000 years to calcify and just became as rock.
Huh.
It's happening.
Good. Good.
it just said like
Good.
goes through it, be like, oh. It just like medical palpate the breast, like, oh. Huh. Well, he just stands there for like a good second, trying to work, like, and then pats her on the shoulder. Congratulations, you are now a healthy woman.
What, was there a
You
chance I was going to
apparently-
come out of this a healthy man?
No, you would pronounce an unhealthy woman because apparently whatever shot out of you was calcified seeds of the cancer.
Oh,
Hmm?
What, you mean these little bits?
Yes.
Oh,
huh.
that's lucky.
That's that's what we call metastasized cancer. It can travel. It can go in one place and then spread to other parts.
I see. You would think I would remember something like that, but I genuinely don't.
I imagine it's
Well,
likely the trauma that led to you
Well,
becoming stone in the first place.
well, but who would have turned her to stone after?
Possibly?
I don't know. Maybe they did a. This is what we call theoretic a Hail Mary.
Well, regardless, it
Well,
worked out.
usually it's more like in this age now. It's more like a Hail Andrea. Like it's such a long such a long shot that it's theoretically possible, but practically impossible. Maybe way back then they figured that give it enough time to figure out a way to cure of it, or a way for it to be expunged out of a body. But I can't tell. There's like a lot of conjecture theories, but whatever. Just points at the floor. It's just you're free. You're cured. Congratulations.
Yes, If someone did this to me by intent of saving me, they didn't do a very good job. I woke up alone in a ruin. And I suppose I was mostly intact. A few of my fingers had come off, and a toe, but Thelerien later on stuck them back, good as new. And I have no way of knowing who would have done it, if it was intentional. I left no notice. There was no one to greet me or care for me.
And you don't know anything that could have led up to that point either.
I'm sure Theli can attest that so long petrified fucks with the mind in ways that you might not expect. My memories are hazy. I
Well,
barely remembered my own
give it time
name.
and
Should be careful
well,
now that you can like stub your toes and stuff. That'll hurt now.
You'll potentially now start actually picking up pieces. Like mine all started coming in, dreams and stuff. I feel like it's because when you're stone, you never really sleep, that it all just sort of fades and goes away. People kind of need sleep.
That
I
makes
just
in
sort of
this case,
gradually started getting little chunks of myself back, recalling more each time I rested. These days I've got everything I think I can get. The rest is very smudgy and blurry, but
that's
yeah.
meditation that can assist with that.
Yeah, probably.
And well, just pat Sally on the shoulder, but by now you get each other. You know how to do this.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. Thank all of you. I wish I had some way to repay you for this kindness. I truly do.
Oh,
Yeah, friendship
just
doesn't need
gets
repaying.
He just gets
Yeah.
out the fucking jokingly gets out the fucking like, yeah,
Invoice.
this constitutes an invoices. Like this is currently the total cost of all repairs and manufacturing here that we're doing over this year. So here's the 2,700.
Steve just pulls out like the U.S. like like health system. All right, so here's your bill. You're gonna be paying it for the rest of your life.
Can we work out an installment plan?
Yeah. So do you have any insurance?
I do, but I'm afraid the company probably went out of business, before you were born.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, we can look. Let's see what we can do.
Do you accept firstborn children? Maybe I have one of those running around somewhere.
Do you accept Apple Pay or Venmo? Sorry, ma'am, I'm not a drug dealer.
Do you accept Klarna?
Yes, actually, that's one of the staple currency programs that we use for payment.
Right, well,
I'm not joking. That's a clutter. It's
that said, you know what I want to do?
Eat
finish
something.
clearing your stomach and then get something to eat.
Use the washroom?
No. I think I just emptied all that out. No, what I want to do is this. Alba is just gonna walk over here and just hop into the water.
Oh, that water is so not clean.
Just
You're gonna get so many fresh new diseases.
It just runs after the fact that she is
Salt.
skinny. She's empty on everything, and she's a fucking had no concept of how to swim.
She just plops into the water and floats. I float now.
Congratulations.
You can float. You know how to
Yay.
swim.
In theory, it's been a few centuries. I hear it's one of those things you don't forget. I am sinking a little bit. This is going to make
Please,
international travel somewhat more.
it just gets the shit over and goes after her. The fact that it's fucking ice cold at midnight. God damn
Ah,
it.
jeez.
Yeah.
You, Kate and Ashe, and pull her out, and she's just laughing.
She's experiencing shiver. Oh my god, I'm shivering. This is so exciting. Oh, this is hypothermia, right. Yeah, there'll be no more walking from island to island, I'm afraid.
Yes, well, that's okay. I can accept a few inconveniences in life for the sheer thrill of that.
Understandable.
It just gets up and just soaked to having to pull her up like
Hmm.
God
Wish I
damn
knew
it.
prestidigitation. Sorry, Steve.
Alba will mage
Yeah.
hand pat you down with a towel. Well, she herself is just gonna look at Kate. Alright, Fox. Give up the tail. Kate will
You know,
obediently turn around and thrust ass back.
You know what? Fair.
Touch the fluffies.
Alba, yeah, he's gonna just bury face in fluffy tail. Ah, this is nice.
Yeah.
Life is nice.
Well done.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, it's
but
past
thank you.
midnight.
Yep, I'm sure Kathy's feeling pretty sleepy, especially when she's walking around with Babbers. I don't know how Tori has so much energy all the time.
She has lots of energy
It's
to
not like
spare.
you can just sit down.
You'd save so much energy if you sit.
Sleep on
It's easy.
space. It's actually easier to sleep like this with this many.
I'd be afraid of like rolling over. You're nearly like spherical.
Mm-hmm.
What if you fall asleep in a place and then you've rolled somewhere else in the night?
Should lock my legs up. Unless somebody's sneaking up and tipping me over, it shouldn't be a problem. And that'd take a lot of somebody.
It would take a lot of somebody. I just figure, like if you yawn or jump in your sleep or something, you tip, and then instead of just landing on your side, you just keep going.
No, no,
Never
look,
been a
look.
sleepwalker, but
Yeah, look. When she sleeps, she doesn't stand with her legs straight down so she can tilt. She spreads them slightly to form like a pyramid.
Yeah, I know, but
That
that's
way
got to
she
be
can.
difficult when you're so rotund that you nearly go past your own legs.
Well, yeah, the center of gravity is harder to move, but it's still there. I understand what you're getting at, but it's still a lot of force, even if she's shiftable. In the meantime, I think we should get Lady Alba some dry clothes
Mhm.
and get her something warm inside.
Yes, I
I
am
told you.
starving, I am freezing, and I am excessively tired.
Yeah.
Just imagine now you can actually feel the act of sleeping in a bed.
Yep. We'll pick up the soft and fluffiest ones and available. I'll pull
Yeah.
off my travel cloak and chuck that around her and... Yeah. Give her head pats.
Right, yes, And while Ashe and Kathy are walking off, Alba's just gonna like lean in and whisper something to Kate. Gets a thumbs up. Right,
Clearly she's looking to get an itch scratched.
let's go and find somewhere nice for dinner, shall we?
Sounds good to me. Sure there's somewhere still
Yay.
open late.
Yes, my treat, everyone. Yeah.
More than happy.
Guys can go find an inn and a restaurant. At some point after dinner, Kate is going to abscond off with Alba. Let her enjoy some mofu.
Yep. Got to get that fix. That good shit.
Mofu moment.
Absolutely
Real
foxtrotted.
flu-frot energy. Do you still have your flu-frot sign?
You're goddamn right I do.
This is a Morpher household.
Yeah. At some point in the night, Kathy will come back and just burn the magic circle off of the floor so nobody has to ask any questions.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Minor
Yeah.
arson, NBD.
Just
NBD.
a little arson.
As a treat.
As a treat. I half imagine instead just like start scraping it up with a knife like I'm not letting all this residium go to waste. Little do they know. Sweets
waste
for
not,
my
want not.
sweet.
And so a new day doth dawn for our party. Now one statue lesser, but one elf stronger.
Yay!
How'd you sleep?
Oh, we'll do a great big stretch. Now she's actually wearing some like quite nice silk robes she's acquired from somewhere. I slept at all, which is remarkable. It's quite nice.
Nice.
Did you have any dreams?
No, none at all, but that's alright, I think. Given
It'll
the
come in time.
manner of my expiration, I am probably better off not dreaming. At least for a little while.
Maybe.
Until you're comfortable and accommodated, I guess.
Yes. But
So it begs the
sweet
question now.
dreams
You've
will
got all your
come.
wiggly bits. What's next for you?
I don't know. Honestly, I hadn't really expected to get this far. I've joined the exclusive club of high elves alive in this day and age. Unless I want to go prying that drunk idiot out of a vineyard, I imagine that club's going to stay very small, so...
Not necessarily. There's potions nowadays that can make
That
it so that
doesn't count.
No, they're not true born. You don't carry over the high elf blood. Just a cosmetic thing.
Yes, exactly. So,
Speaking of, you just places about. You wouldn't happen to be willing to donate for science.
why?
It's a trick. Secretly, all this time, Steve has been a blood sorcerer, you see.
Whoa.
It's more that you associate with an evil necromancer.
Oh, I associate with an evil monster.
You were sitting at a booth in a tavern with her just yesterday. You're not fucking her, but you are certainly associating with her, yes. Sorry to say.
Yeah,
I mean, if you look at it this way,
Yeah.
technically we did do necromancy on you.
Yes.
Necromancy is just medicine delivered a little bit too late.
yeah.
Look, it's not that I don't trust
is-
you, Doctor. It's that I don't trust Lady Belle.
Oh, well, this is not for her. This is.
I know it's not for her, but if she's sticking around, she might get sticky fingers.
I mean, with Ashe and her company, I'm sure sticky fingers are going to be expected.
Yeah, I'm not gonna have her near any of my research.
Not intentionally, no.
I would draw from our mutual friend, but that would
Uh,
be a non-viable link.
You'd be drawing, like, at least 40% ethanol. His blood alcohol is yes.
Arlene
No, his
just
alcohol blood
produces some of Steve's, like, personal research notes from his satchel and just waggles them. Yeah, it ain't hard to pickpocket the doc.
why don't you explain
He's got a lot of pockets.
why you want the blood first, Steve?
I can
That might give-
imagine.
Okay.
Oh, do imagine? Tell me.
Why would you want my blood in particular? One of the, if not the only natural-born, actual high elves still around. You, an elf. Would it perhaps be to do with, I don't know, reversing whatever it is that turned everyone grey and ashen?
Not for off, but mostly to see what the actual difference there is and why the change happened in the first place. It's not an It's not an adaptation, because anything that becomes subterraneous that we have discovered, doesn't darken; it pales. Every species subterranean that isn't mutated in any form becomes pale.
Maybe it's because the gods adore a nice aesthetic change.
Or that you actually have mutated. And then the race just stayed mutated.
Yeah, but
Wild
guess what I need
magic.
to find? Guess what I need to do to find that?
Yeah,
I need
yeah,
some
makes sense.
sample.
No, mutation
Yep.
doesn't make sense. Because there are
And
elves alive today, like Kinathis, who were alive before the elves went underground. Even the Elven Queen herself, as far as I know, was an adventurer on the surface once. She was most certainly
And
not cold dark at that time.
exactly. And she has fully developed as an adult. And
I think it was just the decision by the gods, a nice aesthetic change to mark a
what
deliberate
god?
shift
Well,
in them.
our god was murdered.
They're all
Everything went into chaos, and then they
Hmm,
disappeared with us at the same time. So if they chose as well. Weren't there.
I see. Weird. I hand Albert a tissue.
Why does that make my ribs hurt? That's unfair.
And that's because you haven't you don't have the natural reflex of tensing your core muscles to dampen it.
I don't think I
Oh,
have
some
any
deal.
muscle reflexes left anymore. Honestly, I still have to remember to blink. I've
Oh,
bit my
manual
tongue
blinking.
twice.
Oh no, look, okay, we bite our tongues all the time. Well, okay, maybe especially me, and then I'll just like unfurl the tongue.
Alba just reaches out and gives the tip a pinch. Mine now. I'll give it a little pull and then like snap it back.
I'll do a dramatic like tongue roll like it was a fucking curtain sheet.
Right.
So yes, that's why.
You
And
can
you can
have some
understand
of
that
my
it's been
blood.
very.
Just promise that you'll keep it locked up.
I will keep it as locked up as I can from apparently people who really wanted to steal my books.
I'm just
Or at
proving a
least you
point.
and
It ain't that hard to steal things from people. Arlene will hand your
it
things
would if
back
I
to you.
had a bag of. It would be if I had a bag of holding. Soon into. Yes.
Well, we can always try and track one down. Be mighty handy.
Yes. I just have to figure out where I'm gonna sew it in.
I say you
Reminds
should
me
put
of
it in your
someone
beak.
who used to have a scabbard of holding. Basically, it was meant to hold any weapon they wanted, but instead they used it to hold 600 feet of rope.
Whoa.
Yep.
Kate will
Mhm.
smirk.
Hmm.
I knew a guy who had a scabbard of holding too. Eyebrow wiggle.
Why would you say new in the past tense? He's, you know.
I mean, he died, but someone still has it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, I was making.
Oh, you mean
joke
actual
about
scabbard holding?
Ash's capacity, but sure.
Oh no, like an actual magic. Kate will just make a jerking off motion.
Neat.
Huh.
Well, Ashe is pretty good. Well, you know. Second best thing to
Yeah.
actual infinite capacity. It is mighty impressive.
I was impressed.
Probably about the point where Ashe like walks in from like across the street with Kathy.
Yeah. I figured I've been here. I just didn't really have that much to say.
No, Alba would definitely not be like, you associate with a necromancer, right in front
While
of
she's like still there, especially after she just helped as well. Like that would be.
That'd be pretty
A little
rude.
bit fucked, I guess. Yeah.
Kate'll wave. Hey there, Scabbard Hold. How was your night?
It was good. There was a lot of long talks.
Good. I look forward to hearing all about them later.
Mm-hmm.
Was there plenty of checks list gay handholding?
Not so much yet. It's a lot of discussing boundaries and figuring out what we want out of this.
You should get onto the gay handholding. I find it, you know, really speeds things along.
I can be a little bit responsible as it is.
I mean, it's not like you can't get her pregnant twice. I mean, she's not Tory.
Kathy will just reach down, take Ash's hand, lay his fingers through. There. We might
There you
get
go.
arrested for public indecency, but I think we can manage.
Ooh la la.
You'll never know how confused I was the first time I heard like a holding hands gets pregnant joke. While I was still learning the language, I was lost, completely lost for like weeks. It made no sense to me. I understand it now as a joke, but at the time I was baffled. Like,
So what's this about Scabbard holding now, or she the holding?
We're just talking about your ass, don't worry.
Oh,
And he just reaches around and gives you a big squeeze on the backside.
I get it. I understand now.
Ash needs no explanations when it comes to booty fun.
Mm-hmm.
You really don't. So, what's the plan, everybody?
Head up to Karania and then break off for winter?
Is there any
So.
reason all of us are going there? She'll glance at you and
Hi.
Kathy. You still,
I need a fair share of money, and then go back to Garenia and do my goddamn research as fast as possible.
yeah, that makes sense.
I'd still like to say goodbye to some people before we leave.
That makes sense as well. Alma, where are you spending the winter? I don't know. I am technically homeless. I have just
Well, there's a
sat.
shelter up in Garenia.
Yes, there are emergency housing for refugees. I would feel a bit bad taking those.
Are you able to conjure a little tower?
Not anymore. It's strange. I used to be a fairly decent mage. Maybe not so good as Lady Belle, but decent. My capabilities escaped me over the centuries, and I've never quite been able to get them back as a statue.
You know, I understand that one myself. There.
Yes, so no statue or no tower yet, but I don't know, I have enough money. I suppose I could rent a room somewhere.
I mean, you could always ask Amy. She's going to be probably putting up a tower for all of us to stay in. Probably plunking it down right next to Brenna's actual house. Could make sure that there's a floor for you.
I will not say no out of hand, but also I don't want to intrude on your love nest, Ellie.
Shucks.
You have, what, 3 wives crammed into one building? I think you have enough issues without me just moping around in the background.
It just gently places a hand on her shoulder and say, she's going to be surrounded with some of the most knowledgeable casters and arcane users, as well as a lot of fluffy tails.
Look, I'm absolutely certain that my wives-to-be are going to be starting, if they've not already started, some kind of a coven. You clearly need to get in on the ground floor of whatever it is they're organizing.
So if you are to be in any way, shape, or form, they'll be there to relearn or rediscover your powers. That will be the literal perfect place. Unless you go to the magic tower itself.
You make
I'm sure
compelling arguments.
We'd be glad to have you, I'm sure. You're basically family.
You get to see for the first time all but blush. Thank you. Yes, I will take you up on that offer, I think.
Get pleased snoodle noises.
Yeah.
Ah, well, that's you settled. And Ashe, Kathy, did you decide on whether you're going to Raymont or not?
Yeah, I did convince her to stay here in Taylor Town, or stay with me up in Taylor Town. Get to know each other at least a little bit over the winter, while still pursuing other goals here within Corania.
Yes. Perhaps the ladies Raymont will come up and visit us, given Ashe's involvements, but I am sure that the Lady of Spears will have some use for a individual of my talents. It's been a long time since I hired myself out as a seneschal, but I dare say I'm fairly good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I was thinking, with Mom off fighting in the north, I'm actually gonna head back to the chorus and take a winter course, like accelerated learning.
Ooh.
That makes
Nice.
sense.
Yeah, and I'll write up all the notices and compile the work to send you off.
Oh, you're not setting
So
your
that you're at
homework
the-
on a holiday, are you?
Well, no, it's not.
I am.
Not my holiday. I'm gonna actually take a course at college. Although if
Yes.
Steve wants to send me with more work, I guess I gotta.
It's not extra work. It's just to make sure that you're placed at the correct level of aptitude. No, so that it don't like trip feed you that like, oh, this is how you do this stuff. This is how you do this stuff.
Steve is
maybe-
definitely setting you more work.
Everybody who's been in academia just nods.
Like every professor is like, yep, look. Every other professor thinks that they're the one who knows how to do all of the education ever.
Be like, just has. She should be her. Her study should actually prove and challenge her, not just skate by. Huffs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, if you ever have an interest in taking some liberal arts courses, I can write you some recommendations. Miss Arlene, was it? Yeah, that's me. Arlene Branson. Miss Branson. In fact, you said your mother's a knight, Then you certainly should have some grounding in the political sciences, shouldn't you? You write your reading list for the winter.
Oh, baby. This poor thing is getting fucking reading lists from two different teachers when she's just said, I'm gonna take a fucking winter course as extra work. You monsters. I'm so glad I didn't go to college. I learned at the School of Hard Knocks, by which I mean get into fights and go to ranger training.
Kate will grin and say, well, I can at least guarantee you one nice thing about going back to school, Arlie. And that is, she will reach over and boop Telly's nose. This one's kidnapping Siri for the winter, which means there's going to be a whole unoccupied tower. And I bet I can score you the keys for it. Arlene's eyes go wide.
Ooh, clever.
I get a whole wizard tower?
Your own magic tower.
Technically it's a lighthouse, and you will have to keep the light running. But yeah, you can have the tower. At least I'm pretty sure he can. Apparently just fist pumps. Moving up in the world.
And there's something else that you'll probably get to enjoy. There's going to be a lot of bards probably very interested in getting to know you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You're going to be able to bully so many people.
Make them do your homework.
When this broadstone thing wears off in the middle of winter, that's gonna break so many hearts.
Yeah, that's gonna happen in the middle of winter, isn't it? Kinda
Yeah.
forgot about that.
Well,
Just
then
sits up a
again,
little bit straighter.
I suppose I can just alter self myself.
Alter self does exist. I have heard that that will do the job for most.
After all, this dress is already tailored to my current proportions.
Well, then clearly it would be a
Just-
waste not to do so.
Yeah.
Kathy just kind of looks Arlene over, scratches chin. You mean that cowish figure isn't already alter self? Oh my.
Oh, learning
Nope.
about Broadstone is going to fucking blow your mind.
It just
Have you not noticed how adorably ambiguous Ashe has become?
I mean, I was already ambiguous when we
you're
met
already
her. Yeah.
quite ambiguous.
She did not actually
Steve is
see me
just
in my
gonna
regular
be-
twink self.
Yes, I
Just
just assumed
going
all of
to-
you were part of Minotaur.
Well, technically, on my
Ah.
mother's side, decently related down the line, we do have Minotaur.
I'm just built different.
Steve is going to reach into his backpack and sigh and just gets up a small package and just pushes it towards Arlene. Arlene says like, well, happy birthday in advance.
Oh, you didn't have to,
Aw.
Steve. But what's this?
It's 100 GP in medical herbs and incense for alter self permanence.
She will blush, then grin, and just throw her arms around Steve's shoulder. Oh,
Aw.
thanks, Steve. You're the best.
Gently passes like, well, don't have to spend all your spells. I know you like grumbles.
This is like some kind of like fucking rich valley girl's parents giving their kid Botox tickets when she's still in her 20s.
Here's Bill
And,
Talk.
and then they're excited about you like there's something fucking wrong with the world. Oh my god, I can't believe it. This plastic surgeon is like the best. One of the finest in LA. And then one of your gal pals is like, yeah, he did my boobs.
Kathy will
I am
just
so
snort a little.
fucking
So we're
I don't care, I'm
enabling
so
this.
fucking disgusted.
I don't have to
Well-
be enabled. I'm an adult. I can make my own decisions.
That's the way she
In
likes
this
looking. That's the way
case-
she likes looking.
You
Nothing
are a
wrong with that.
baby. I'm almost 20.
She's a human. They live to just she's an adult by the standards, and I want her to be happy
Well.
with herself as well.
Ain't you a little sweetheart?
My father at your age. Well, congratulations.
This
Arlene
kills the
will
Steve.
turn scarlet.
I don't care. What did you say?
She said, "Oh, well, a father at your age. Congratulations."
Just I've already had a child. But thank you, I guess.
Kathy continues to assume that Arlene is just your daughter. Well, if that is everyone's winter... Wait, no, we haven't heard from the Concussion victim.
Yeah, Vale, what are you doing for the winter?
Oh. Well, I don't exactly have property or anything, and home is too far to, well, too far to go to, really. I was thinking of staying wherever Dolores was. Be that in Titan's grave or where she's stationed to the north, if she's still there.
Yeah, I think Mom was up at Three Oaks.
That's it.
If you see her, could you give her this?
Also, well, there
Give
is.
Vale the level 4
Sure.
healing potion.
Oh, I'll be sure to give this to her. Well, I suppose there are some rather distant relations that have a farm near Taylortown and that lake there, but I wouldn't want to impose upon family that I've never, well, met.
Well, I wouldn't feel too bad about it. As long as you bring some food. Things being what they are, but I think that other cast was heading that way too, actually.
Well, I think I will stick with my plan to see Dolores.
Well, if you go that way, you might get drafted into the fighting now and then. And hopefully the barbarians will ease off for winter.
Well, I would hope so, but even if not, it is my place as a knight to lend aid where it is needed.
I bet. Well,
And if it means making sure that your mother is safe and has someone to watch her back, then that all the better.
she's lucky to have a friend as good as you.
The best friends, roommates even.
Vale just nods.
Kate will reach over and just pat the back of Arlene's head. Vale, in any way would you like to obfuscate your intentions with Arlene's mom?
I don't think I've said anything untoward.
No, you haven't. It's just like Arlene might actually finally leave the completely
Might
fucking
put
clueless
some-
I finally
feud.
understand.
Like, wait, why is she going to spend winter with my mom on the front lines of a war?
Yeah, it's kind of odd, isn't it?
I mean, I guess I.
Hey, Kira, you know what doesn't shows up? Your ability that allows you to get advantage on charisma checks.
Yes, my glorious presence.
Yeah, you could just glorious friends like, no, Vale is just so, pure and nice that she wants to go make sure her friend's mom is okay. I would believe that in a heartbeat. Yeah, glorious gaslight.
Glorious gas.
Gonna have to come clean event. Someone's gonna.
No, you guys are gonna be married for like 3
Eventually,
years and
yeah.
Arlene's gonna be fucking clueless.
It would be very funny.
They're just roommates.
Yeah, they're just roommates. Partners, if you will.
Vale just stayed here after the adventure.
This is just a bottle of a cucumber.
I kind of want to see how far this joke can go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After all, when
Roll me up an
Arlene's mom said
advantage
she was inviting Vale
deception,
to
big bro.
live here to participate in her horse breeding business, just makes perfect sense to her.
I will. Oh.
Oof.
Wait, hold on. I have inspiration. You should reroll.
Okay.
This is
fine.
what we should be using inspirations on. Come on.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Gaslight
There we go,
Arlene.
22.
22.
Gaslight,
All right.
gaslight, gaslight.
Arlene remains completely fucking clueless. He's just happy that her mom's friends care so much about her. And we'll just lean over and give Vale a big hug. Thanks for keeping an eye on her for me.
I'll give her a hug back. Of course.
Well, I guess that's where all of us are staying for the winter. Actually, and Tori, are you still going down to Igniferus?
Uh-huh.
Alright, then yeah, that's everybody.
What about you? You gonna stay with us, or do you have another plan? Another plan, Kate?
Oh, that's a good question. I was thinking I was gonna take Mare on vacation. Go out to one of the islands. I think
Yeah.
you and Kathy ought to have the winter to, well, not even to yourselves. You got the Margrave to deal with. So, plenty occupying your time. I will just go spend it with the kiddo.
All right. If you're ever around there after the vacation, or if the vacation doesn't last that long, be sure to come up by.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, Taylortown's right on the river. Shouldn't be too hard to take a boat up there. Might meet you come in a winter. In fact, actually, why don't we make a plan of it? Maybe a week before winter's over, I'll come up and we can all go fishing together. How about it?
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Clap you on the back. Alright, it's a deal. Well, I guess that is everybody sorted.
Yeah.
Well, Tor, if I don't see you again before that, congratulations on all the kiddos. Do make sure to name at least one of them
Thank you.
after me. Actually, there are 8 people sitting
You
at this table
betcha.
other than you. That is a
I don't
mighty
know about
auspicious
that.
number.
Be kind of
Got
strange to
something
have us
picked out.
all inspire the names of our children. Kind of strange.
Would it though?
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Maybe. It feels like there's a weird dynamic to it, considering we're all still actively adventuring.
I don't know. Maybe it's just my family thing. I got like 6 Casses all adventuring at once.
I think that is your family thing.
Okay, well, see, if someone else does it, then it's not as weird.
Yeah, but you have to persuade them to make it their thing too, and that sounds like you just failed. It's kind of weird.
Kind of like how my family's thing is like all of us being named after some aspect of fire and things that happen because of fire.
Well, that's totally different.
That's very different.
Very different, I guess, yeah.
That said, Tori, you should name at least
That
one of
is
them
very
Cass. It's a lucky name.
It's a very lucky
It
name.
is a lucky name, yeah.
Your naming conventions are all very weird.
You're a fucking elf named Steve. You don't got no room to talk. And you're sitting next to an elf named Kathy.
Steve and Kathy just both share looks like
Both
fucking
like, oh.
pronouncing our real names is such bullshit.
If only they knew. Yeah.
I ain't got time to write that many
don't-
fucking apostrophes, bitch.
Yeah, and the only one that actually knows Steve's full name is Sally, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I ain't no narc. Unless it's really funny.
Fine. All right. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Let's divvy up everything and go about winter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
money.
So let's see here. So we need to add the 9,000 in GP onto the gold that we got earlier in party loot. So that makes
Yep.
it
1,200,
12,336.
12,000.
12,336, yeah. Okay. And then we need to divide that by what?
Well, let's see. I don't know if you want to give Dia a share, but
Who's Dia?
the succubus,
Succubus.
who you guys kind of lost track of when she got into town, but presumably she's off eating.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Well, she earned a little because she did indeed smash fucking like the Manticore like 3 times, super fucking hard.
I mean, she got the
Okay,
kill
so-
shot on the fucking wyvern.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
that case,
so
let's do
yeah, she
2 different divisions then. 9,000 divided by what? Is it 8 that were? No, it was 9 that was
1, 2,
present for
3,
the.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9.
Okay, so that's an easy 1,000 apiece there.
Nice.
Alright.
And then we'll divide the 3 in a moment. So the rest of it, this 3,336, how are we dividing that?
that's
That would be
excluding
8, or
Alba.
8 ways.
So it's
7.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
It'd be 8, wouldn't it?
The party with Kate and Arlene.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Kate
Oh wait, yeah, that's 7,
Ashe.
isn't it?
Yeah. See?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I guess Alba's not. Getting. Yeah, because Alba didn't really show up until like this part of it, did she?
Yeah.
Yeah, we met her there.
All right, so that's 6 then. Yeah.
No, so that's 7.
7.
7. Right. 7. 476 gold, 5 silver, 7 copper. And I will go into the sheet and take our party gold here and put it to 0. Save changes.
Okay, 4, 7, 6, 5 silver, 7 copper. So that puts it at that, and that puts it at lower.
This is the most loaded I think any
Wait.
companions have been since fucking Cass.
Shit, this is the most loaded I've been in ages. I keep playing like fucking
Yeah.
altruists or people who spend
This
all
is-
their cash straight away.
This is like at least 3 times the entirety of the money I made in Sav 5
Yeah, I do have
throughout
7,000
the
on
entire
me.
campaign. I like it.
Get looted upon. Alright. Have you decided what you're doing with your remaining soul stones, if any? You do still have a Doulahan stone. And nobody
let's take
added
a
the
look.
Wyvern stone to party loot.
That's because we were just putting it straight
That's
on
because we
Vale.
know we're giving the Wyvernstone to Vale's Ring.
Right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Vale's
Okay.
gonna be taking that.
Well,
as long-
someone
do you
needs to
remember-
dedicate the downtime to do that, but yeah.
All right, so we have 1 soul stone to.
She
whether or
can
not
do
we're
that
gonna
herself, can't she? Because she's a magic user
yeah,
herself.
technically Vale can enchant her own shit. Yeah, that's true. Well, you do need to have someone with the tool
Jewel
proficiency.
crafting.
But Vale could also just hire somebody to do that, I suppose,
Mhm.
if Steve does not want to.
I could do it like half, essentially half downtime.
If no one else has anything they want to do with the Dualahan Soulstone, Arlene would kind of like to have it.
Is she gonna get a weapon consecrated for it first?
No, she's going to get armor. Because she has a
Oh, that's the
masterwork dress
armor.
that she's going to be making into a magic item already.
Yeah, that seems fine, I think.
Nice.
Oh, the question wasn't that on Tori's agenda to clean the spears to get the Dualahan into the
Well,
spear?
I don't care about the soul stone. I just plan
Okay.
to cleanse the spear.
Then, yeah. Arlene will pocket that.
Okay.
I'm going to make the Battle Mage's dress of casting mage armor on myself constantly. And I'm going to
Good
slap this
plan.
on it.
Good choice.
And be almost as brave as Kate. Woo!
Good plan, good plan.
Then I just need to find a soul stone that, like, will make me slip into the shadows all invisible, like.
You're already so good at that, though.
Yeah, but I could be
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, fair.
If I'm always invisible, no one can ever hurt me. That's just how it works.
Yeah, fair.
We have
Yes, I
actual
suppose.
documented proof that constant invisibility is actually extremely detrimental, especially if you're a caster or a squishy.
Right. I also want to get a bell enchanted so only my friends can hear it. That would be nice.
That's a good
Yes.
That
plan.
sounds very cool. She nearly said adorable, but doesn't want to put Arlene off the idea.
And I honestly actually have the money to probably do all of that. I just need the time. That's the killer.
You should have.
I
at
mean,
least
if you're going to
some
the
time for
choral
it.
chorus, there is definitely going to be someone who needs to do enchanting for their major.
That is true. I can just... Money can buy goods and services. Good
Yep,
point.
not just goods.
Yes, yes,
Exactly.
you can.
And they
I
have
never
a
had money
magical...
before. This is weird.
Think about this. They also have a... okay, they do have a magical locus there, right?
Magical what?
The Bard
Locus.
product.
Yes, they do have a Nexus of Power there.
Yes. Think about it. They also have a locus there, so... A magical loci. So you can do it. They can do it really fast. And all your research as well.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to be sick. I'm going to come back with my own name spell. That is my goal.
What do you
Heck
want it to
yeah.
do?
I was thinking, like... Alright, so what if I make a spell and... Savin opens his notes for this fucking thing, because I actually wrote it down. Alright, what if anytime I, like, stop in shadows, I can just, like, fade into it without having to spend a bunch of time trying to hide? It's
Some
like...
kind of meld with shadows.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking, like, Shadow Stride.
Shadow melt. Nice.
She will excitedly, like, open her little notebook and, in fact, will show you guys what she's been kind of concepting.
Such a big cookie.
Blop.
Whoa.
That's pretty sweet. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Basically gives
Shit,
her
wish I
a
could do
cunning
arcane
action.
magic. Yeah. It's very classic D&D to have like wizard spells that allow you to pretend to be other efficient classes. Of course, it also used to very much annoy Grognard to be like, well, fuck, the wizard can just do everything I do. Why bring a rogue when your wizard can use knock? Gah.
I mean, to be fair, like, Arlene... If the party had a rogue, they'd probably feel really inadequate next to Arlene.
Oh yeah, she's an incredible rogue caster.
But luckily, we don't have a rogue, so instead you have an Arlene.
I mean, to be fair, I do also, I don't mind. I'm a jack of all trades.
Yeah. That's why I didn't feel bad about making Arlene like the super lockpick stealth nerd. Like, she can't do half the stuff you can do, but does excel in her little niche.
And honestly, I still have had many chances to enjoy the fact that both of us are competent at the thing at the same time. Like, oh, sneaking ahead, I'm not doing that alone, that's nice.
You have a haste bot following you around for when you need to leave.
Also true.
So, yeah. The party can enjoy their brunch and then get on the road, I suppose.
Road again.
Yeah.
So, it is...
Tori will ask along the way if Vale and or Theli still plan to like come visit Igniferous for like the first portion for like a week or whatever.
Yeah, I believe I was going down for a week so that you could finish your language training, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm spending the first week in Igniferous and then I'm zooting up.
Back to the choral chorus.
Not to the chorus, I'll be zooting back up to Crania to stay with
Oh.
the girls.
Oh.
It would have been choral chorus, but can't really take like Brynna away from her new job
Oh
immediately.
yeah. Jarb.
Yeah. It'll be a week there, meet your family, finish your language training, and
Heck
then I go and join the wife puddle, which is nice. Haven't had a proper wife puddle since Nahia.
So, I'm just going to grab some tokens here real quick. Shrunk.
Okay, back.
Welcome back. Alright. So, in terms of people of import, looks like Ashe to Taleytown, Steve and Theli will be staying in Carania City, Vale off to Three Oaks to vibe with Arlene's mom, Arlene to the chorus, Tori in Igniferous, and Kate is gonna go fucking vibe in the islands, I suppose. Go on a fishing trip with her child.
Out in the sea?
The islands.
Yeah, there's islands out there.
Yeah, there's like a billion islands that are mostly uncharted, so they're just not on the map yet.
Oh.
That said, during the
Well,
course of this winter, you will hear of an island colony being established on Blackfin Island. And that is where Kate's going to be going.
Neat.
Going to go
Nice.
with Mare to help the colonists and do a bunch of fishing. Yeah, so Vale, it was 1,476 gold to you.
Let's see.
Yeah, we're about to end, Theli. Just give me like 5 more
Oh, that's
minutes.
good. I also have a headache, so... Sorry, how much money was that?
1,476.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, this is where everyone's going to be ending up over winter downtime. We will handle, I reckon, most of it, if you need anything, over RP chat. However,
Yeah.
I know the party has suggested that they would like to go for like the entire duration of winter, but for next session, you should plan your full 90 days, but I would appreciate it if you would only take the first, I believe, 45 or so. Let's see, when are we ending? Basically up until New Year's. because some
Okay.
things might be happening.
Oh, like only RP out that much?
Only RP and only spend your downtime actions that far out.
Okay.
Okay. So
45
45.
days. You said 45.
Yeah, so it will be, let's see, 37 days is how much you have between now, or 36
Okay.
actually, because you've spent a day in
Can I get
town.
some of this money changed into platinum?
You sure can, Chief.
Cool.
So yeah,
Carrying around
36
all this
days
gold
is
is
how
kind
much
of
downtime you
annoying.
have until something will happen, and maybe you'll want to do something about it, maybe you won't, but it will be a thing of note.
Okay. I will not be able to do anything about it. I will be gone next session.
Yeah, well, in that case, I will probably just DM you what's going to happen. You can just kind of figure out what Ashe is going to do, if anything.
Okay.
So,
boy.
let's do XP. Alright, so, did you explore new or interesting location? No, this is all places
New.
you've been before. Did you discover new interesting truth about the world?
There's a brand new colony and it's on Blackfin Island. I knew people going out there, but hey, it's named.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
plains.
you know what? Sure. There is an official Karanian colony out in the sea.
Nice.
You have a friend going out there for the winter. I can tell you all about it. Did you advance or complete a quest? Yes, you finished Alba quest. She is returned unto flesh much earlier in the campaign than I anticipated. But you guys had a cycle plan, and I couldn't really find a fault with it. It
Hooray.
just kind of worked.
Nice.
So, good job. Big brains all around. Did you protect the people of Iona from a deadly threat? No, Alba wasn't
No.
really likely to, turn into a monster and kill a bunch of people. Do you instigate lasting change in the world at large with life of companion? Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Did you fulfill any long-term goals? Don't imagine so.
I don't think so.
Yeah, let's see.
Actually, Vale's long-term goal is reach Igniferous. Did you want to go with the rest of the party for,
Oh, right. That was the original plan, wasn't it? That was like ages ago, though. Fuck.
Tori and Theli are both going there. You could just tag along if
Yeah,
there's
if
something
you
you
wanna
want
visit.
there.
No, there's not really any. Doesn't really any reason for Vale to go there.
Okay, cool.
Fair
Then, 3 XP, everybody.
179. And we can finally level up.
You can indeed take the first
My God.
little bit here to level.
So in that case, think of a new long-term goal.
Poor Alba can finally get XP. And, let's see. I guess Kathy needs an XP tracker, so let's see. You are level 6. Probably closer to 7, so I will just give you a flat 183. So you guys at level 7, or are you still, like, a little bit shy?
We're 5 right now. We're
Yeah.
going to 6.
Yeah.
Well, I know that, but also I
We're
believe you were,
still
like,
Oh,
way
30
over.
short. 30 short.
Okay, 30
Yeah,
short.
I think
Okay, so you're a ways
we're
off.
like
31.
30 short, yeah.
31 short.
Okay. Cool beans. Alright, then yeah, that is where we will leave off for tonight. And next session, we will pick up on New Year's on the year 1578, I believe it will be. Yes, indeed. So, if you've been watching on the stream or YouTube, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you on Thursday for more adventures in time and space. Till then, adios, and do take care.